Hey y'all, Nesso here with a review of a popsicle stuck on a stick, the Sibear. The Sibear is a Mastery Rank 6 heavy hammer available at the marketplace for 15,000 credits. The Sibear's crafting materials are a bit pricey, requiring a Magister, 50,000 alloy plates, and 30,000 cryotic. While I personally have a stockpile of 150,000 cryotic, a newer player may have issues collecting the cryotic, especially because the excavation missions only provide 100 cryotic per excavator. But after gathering all the cryotic needed, what does the giant popsicle provide us? The Sibear is tied with the Jet-Gatag and Sindo Prime for the second highest melee base damage at 130. But the damage dealt by the Sibear is purely cold damage. This restricts you to elemental mods for damage, which does mean it has less maximum damage than other melee weapons. Very similar to the Jet-Gatag, the Sibear has a 1.0 attack speed, along with a decent crit chance at 15% paired with a 2x crit damage multiplier. The only difference in stats from the Jet-Gatag is that the Sibear has a lower status chance at 10%, compared to the Jet-Gatag's 25% status chance. The Sibear also has a really short range compared to the Jet-Gatag. It's short enough that I feel that prime reach is wasted on it. Now, as the stats dictate, the Sibear is basically a downgrade when comparing it to the Jet-Gatag. To make up for its lack in stats, the Sibear has a special effect with its combos and ground slam. The Sibear creates a small ice spike patch. It looks like a baby version of Frost's Ice Wave. While the damage of the ice effect doesn't change the output, it causes enemies to get knocked down. The range of the knockdown is a lot larger than the visual effect of the ice spikes as well, and can be useful at CCing units if you don't hit with your swings. So on to how I modded the Sibear. As I mentioned, I don't find prime reach effective for this weapon. I did try it out, which is why I have two V polarities on my Sibear, but I ended up with Blood Rush and Body Count to add more damage, along with Berserker, as the weapon is incredibly slow without it. As usual, this is just how I build, mod as you like. So now on to the question, is the Sibear worth it? Well, the Sibear is capable of a lot of damage. Being primarily elemental damage does restrict the weapon to a certain degree. Being unable to use the event physical mods or primed heavy trauma does make the weapon have less damage than the Sindo Prime and Jet-Gatag. When it comes to physical resist sorties, it is really nice having a melee weapon in your arsenal that deals purely elemental damage, but despite this, I don't really think the weapon is really worth it. It's hard to fully appreciate this weapon when we've had access to the Jet-Gatag for months. While the Sibear does have that fancy ice spike effect, with the lack of range on the weapon, I find it really unenjoyable to use. While the effect is handy for CCing when you're using your melee combos with the Sibear, Polearm or the Jet-Gatag with Prime Breach, ground slamming is just as effective. With its high cost in cryotic and all the negatives, I just don't think the weapon is an incredible weapon. But it is still a powerful weapon available to us. If you don't have the Jet-Gatag, I still highly recommend picking it up over the Sibear. But if you don't have access to a dojo with the weapon, the Sibear is a decent alternative if you have the cryotic for it. Assuming you just want to send things flying, the weapon is great. As always, thanks for watching and be sure to have a good one.